Welcome back, everyone. I am Zadie, and this is Kerbal Space Program, and let's just jump right into this, shall we? On the last episode, we built our first airplane and tested it, and it was a screaming success, except for one little, can't get back in the cockpit type thing, but, hey, learning. So what we're going to do today is we're going to test out a few things on the launch pad, and we're also going to test some stuff out on our actual jet that we built, which is going to be pretty cool. So we're picking these sciences up. We're picking these sciences up right now, boss. No, we're picking up the contracts right now, and these are the ones we're going to be testing out. This one is KW Rocketry test splashdown at Kerbal. Real easy one to do. We're going to pick that up. We're also going to pick up a couple others here and there. We're going to test a parachute while in flight. We're also going to test a parachute while on the ground. We're going to test this LVT engine on the ground as well. And we're going to cycle through this one. I do not feel like even trying to do that one. And then that's the other one, the basic jet engine one. It's real easy to do. And then we got the stack decoupler to test as well. So here we go. We've picked up 7 contracts. We're going to go ahead and burst through a couple of these. Skip the building phase on this one. It's really easy. You just put it on the launch pad and test it. We're going to run the test on the parachute and the engine. Here's the fun part. So for those of you who are doing this, if you tested a coupler and it doesn't decouple like it should have decoupled the parachute, it doesn't count. As you can see here, we've got the check marks for it. Kerbal landed, but it didn't work. And that kind of blew me away a little bit. As you can see, I'm very confused. Going back and forth, frantically looking for the solution. Is there a test on there? No. Well, maybe if I click on this. No, I don't think that's going to work. Well, how about we go back over here and click on this. Let's open a contract, close it. Let's see if I got it. No, it's not showing in there. Do tell. Yeah, basically that's it. Just gave you an insight into what was going on in my crazy ass mind. So basically what I had to do was exit there, accept all the the money. I didn't even look at it, and then relaunch by building this little thing. And when I do the stack decoupler this time, you will see that I do meet Kerbal and I do meet landed. So it should work this time by doing the couple and by pressing spacebar. Look at that, it worked. Can't tell you why. It's almost the exact same setup I had last time as underneath and it pushing up, but for whatever reason it didn't work. It worked that time, not a big deal. You're gonna run into some things like that. It's just the way video games go. So we're gonna go back into our plane assembly area. Can't remember the official name of it. The vehicle assembly, or the space plane hangar. That's it, space plane hangar. And we're gonna pull out our Dart Mark 1 and we're gonna modify it just slightly. So we got a contract to test this parachute at over 10,000 meters. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna add that. So pull the contract up and we'll clear that out real quick. Pull the contract up, you can see right here, it's you have to be at altitude, a minimum altitude of 10,000 meters to 12,000 meters and a certain speed. So which we can definitely do the speed in this. It's more or less the concern about the altitude and whether or not we're going to be able to reach it with these 2 little engines. So, we didn't go very high on our first test flight. So, it may make it, it may not make it. But what I decided to do is go ahead and just grab an empty tube. We're going to throw this on top of the fuselage, kind of like what would be a third engine. Take all the fuel out of it so it doesn't have any weight to it. It's not going to change our stuff very drastically. And the good thing about scale everything is you can scale these things down or scale them up and make it fit whatever part you're going for. I love Tweak Anything. It is such a nice mod. I understand why it's not in the normal game, but still, such a nice mod. So let's go ahead and load this bad boy up on the runway and get her going, shall we? I should have cut this load time out, but hey, that's piss poor editing on my part, and I like to point it out. All right, so this is going to be 200 times speed. Obviously, this is post-commentary, and we're just going to take off when this thing is still a little squirrely on the runway, and still makes me nervous as hell that I'm going to scrape that tail. But it gets up into the air very easily, and we're going to put it at about 15 to 20 degree incline. Oh, okay, I'm going way up. Going about 90. We're just going to take this thing off like a rocket. This thing will fly with pretty low speed of meters per second, so it's not too concerning right now. The main problem with this thing is going to be thruster weight ratio at a higher altitude, and also air intake. Air intake is a huge deal. Those little intakes in the front, they don't generate a lot of air. They don't take in a lot of air. They're very tiny. I know it's hard to tell scale wise, but those are very small engines. These are the smallest parts in the game that you can put on an airplane and stuff, so just keep that in mind. With two of them, it shouldn't be too big of a problem, but air intake and thrust is also a worry of mine. As you can see, I'm having to lower the amount of degree I'm facing up, because our meters per second is just creeping down. And any time I adjust the airplane, just the center of the thrust, the direction of thrust that I'm going, I can't remember the name, but anyway, that little green thing just kind of gets a little wonky every once in a while, which means that we're not pointing in the direction that we're being thrusted, which can be really bad. That's how you lose control and start flipping out all over the place. So it's really a good idea to try and keep it as close to that as possible. I'm doing a pretty good job, but just changing the angle just by a little bit, you can see, just kills my momentum. And even though I'm in a steep incline, these little engines just aren't producing enough thrust for me to hang up there. As you can see in the nav ball, that green circle just keeps going lower and lower and further away. And that's just not good. That's how you can lose control and crash. So basically, what I decide to do is just get as much speed as I can. Keep that above the horizon, so that way I'm still climbing, or at least maintaining my height. I'm going to build up as much speed as I can. As you can see right here, we're hovering right at 8,680. Well, we're going up now, but we're just not going up very fast. And then what I'm going to do when I get enough speed is I'm going to point the nose up pretty steep and try to gain as much altitude as possible. Now at this rate, I think I'd be able to make it. But the problem is that I don't want it to take 10 years to go up another 1,000 meters. So yeah, that's why you see me. You'll see me take some steep nose ups in order to gain altitude quicker. Even though it kills my speed, I know that I have enough thrust generation at this height to maintain. So even though I'm going down a little bit, not too big of a worry. I'm at 9,500, and see I start to go back up. It's all about the thrust right now, and being able to generate enough to rocket up a little bit. And this is going to be enough to take me to the 10,000 meters to do the test. So just got to wait it out. Basically, I said, okay, I'm close enough. I'm just going to slowly ascend until we get to 10,000, and then I'll do the test. As you can see in the mission box, I've gone ahead and checked off a couple of things, and that was a weird cut. Yeah, just went back and looked at the footage. Yeah, apparently my capture messed up there. Anyways, I got to the right height, got to the right speed, got the science. It happened just for a second. You can catch it right there on the frame where I did the test. And basically, yeah, just deployed the chute, did the test, got the contract fulfilled, and got the science, and we're good to go. Now we're just returning back to the Kerbal complex, and we're going to try and line this thing up on the main runway and land it. Good for me. Yeah, should be able to do it. not too worried about this aircraft. Of course, there's a lot of stuff around there that we'll be able to land on if things go wrong. As you can see, our fuel is still really good. That little flight did take us pretty far away from Kerbal's, the Kerbal. My brain's fried. I apologize, guys. I have been working for the last 8 hours. It is 12 o'clock at night. I'm tired. My voice is hoarse. I know I probably sound like crap, but I really want to get this done. And so if my commentary is not up to snuff, I do apologize. But yeah, we're trying to get back over to the runway over there and line this bad boy up and get her on the ground. That is just a spectacular view. I do love the view in this game. It is fantastic. One thing you'll notice in this game that you won't notice in real life is that you can actually see the natural curve of Kerbin when you're only this high up, which is 4,000 meters. That doesn't happen on Earth because Earth is a lot bigger than Kerbin, if you didn't know that. So for any of you flat earthers out there watching this going, see proof that the Earth is flat because you're in Kerbin, blah blah blah, you're full of shit. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that outright. You're full of shit. The Earth is round. There's no reason to think the Earth is flat. There's no reason for the government to hide the fact that the Earth is flat. So if you believe the Earth is flat, you're fucking retarded. And I just need to tell you that. Sorry. I've been watching a lot of YouTube lately, and there's a lot of flat Earth stuff on there, and it just kind of doesn't make sense to me. Anyways, now that I'm done ranting about the retardism that is flat Earthers, let's try to line this bad boy up and bring it in for a landing. It's not too tough to line up for this runway. It's easily seen very far out. I can already see it now. It's not like the other runway across the way. And I wonder if there's a mod out there that does add like runway lights and stuff. I should look into that. Like I said in the last episode, I do work for an airline and know quite a bit about aviation. I'm not a pilot or anything special. I do work for the airline. I've worked out on the ramp before and loaded airplanes and all that good stuff. So I've been up close to a lot of them, and it was a fun job. Anyone who wants to travel for free, I recommend, and you're young, I recommend working on the ramp as a ramp agent, loading airplanes in the summer or even full time. It's a great job, and it builds character. One of the biggest problems I had coming in here right now, as you can see, I'm bleeding off speed. I was hauling ass and just wanted to bleed that speed off so I didn't fly over the runway and have to turn around and come back. So I'm doing a series of dips and pitches to try and bleed off as much speed as I can. Try to keep it as low as possible. I would prefer to be around 80 to 90, or I'm sorry, yeah, around 80 to 90 is pretty good speed. It's not too fast. As you can see, I got the engines practically turned off as I'm coming in. Still coming in a little hot. Probably cut that down a little bit, but a very successful landing. We put all 3 wheels on the ground, got our science real quick, and as soon as we park this bad boy, we're gonna go spend. We're gonna go spend all our science, all the science on all the good stuff. And as we're transitioning into the research and design area, we're going to take a look at a couple of things. There's a lot that we need. We can only afford one of these. Well, technically 2 if I do the light bulb down at the bottom. Man, it's really tough to decide what to do with your science when you've got so many aspirations and ambitions. This one's really important because, as you can see, it's got the crew cab. That would help out. That would help with starting our manned flight. We haven't done any manned rockets yet, which may be the route that we go because, well, we do have a test that gave us a free one, so we may use it first and try to get that into orbit and get a little science. Let's see. Decisions, man. This is like shopping for computer parts for me. I sit there and look at them all. I'm a techie dork, by the way, for those of you who don't know. So I'll sit there on like Newegg and just dream of building new computers. I know it's weird, But I think getting the science would probably be the best thing to do right now over going for the crew cab. Because if we get the science stuff, it'll help us get the 45 science quicker. And we do got a free crew cab. So it shouldn't be too big of a deal. See that science junior, man, that's a lot of science right there. We can go get. Also got the little poodle engine. That would help out too. I think we're gonna go for this. And we can get the tac stuff later. There's a little add-on above it that's only one for one science that we could get right now, but screw it. So let's go in here and build us a rocket, shall we? So for our first manned flight, we're going to want to build something a little classy. We got parachutes, that's good. Looking at my my missions and stuff to see if there's anything I need to put on this bad boy, but I think we're gonna be able to just build a rocket straight out. Oh no, wait, that's right, we gotta test one that's down, that's splashed down. So we gotta test that rocket. Okay. Now that we've got that figured out, this is our crew cab. That is also part of a test that we need to do as well. So that's gonna be easy for us to do. Let's throw that bad boy out there. We're gonna make sure we're gonna put Valentina Kerbal in there. I want Valentina to be the first Kerbal to reach space. I'm very progressive and into the women's right movement. Not really, I'm just talking out my ass. Basically, she's in there because, again, she is a character that I rarely get to use, or rarely do use. So I'm trying to make an effort to use other characters besides Bob, Jeb, and Bill. You know, the classic three. So this is going to be a quick thing, so we're going to go ahead and throw this on there. We don't have a heat shield, and this thing is not going very far into the atmosphere, so it should be fine. We're going to put our little engine on there. The little engine I could. That's going to bring us back into the atmosphere and hopefully slow us down as we're returning in, since again, we don't have a heat shield, but since we're not going for a full orbit, we should be okay. Go ahead and throw some second stage stuff on there, or first stage stuff on there. Again, it's not going to be too much to get us into orbit, or not orbit, I apologize, into space. So just a simple two-stage rocket should do the trick. Let's go ahead and throw an engine on there. We're going to go with the one that gimbals. That's always nice. We're not going to put any fins on this thing. And we're going to go ahead and save this craft as... We're going to name it the Blue Sky Mark 1. Get it? Because it's going to the blue sky. I'm so clever. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Again, thank you for watching. I appreciate the feedback from all my episodes. It was my bad the last episode released on a Saturday. I'm going to try not to do that anymore because apparently you guys don't watch YouTube on Saturdays. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time from our Kerbal Space Program. Oh shit, I almost forgot to tell you to like, favorite, and subscribe, and share. Yeah!